Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the HNW podcast. It's SMOKEY MASSACRE here, and I've got Hunter Unit 751 joining me for the official HNW podcast. Hunter, how's it going?
Hello, I'm good. I'm doing all right. Yeah, just chilling. Glad to be back on the podcast after missing that iconic one that you guys did last time out with the obstacle tier list ranking. That was really fun. That was really cool to watch and play along.
Yeah,
and now we're back.
I think we all knew that you would be that you would have wished that you could have been a part of that one, and it would have been fun to have you a part of it. But sometimes, I want you to. I like hearing your input from the outside perspective, anyway. But so thanks for giving your own list too. But
yeah.
Speaking of obstacles, real quick, I was just on Instagram and I was looking at some American Ninja Warrior runs, and it just made me think. In Sasuke, how many obstacles are there where you have to hold on to something and fly through the air with it, like the salmon ladder or the flying bar? I don't count the pipe slider because that's pretty much staying attached in a way.
Oh god.
Because there's so much of it in American Ninja Warrior. They got you grabbing onto every weird little thing.
I was going to say, I guess taking it with you.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
There's probably a lot more. There's probably a lot more of that now than there used to be. Well, certainly in the Sasuke days. But if I had to put a number on it, I honestly had no idea. But I guess in American Ninja Warrior, yeah, I guess there's probably quite a lot of that. I guess the Dragon Glider probably doesn't count either because that's staying on a track.
Yeah, you're not taking it with you. I think that's the perfect way to say it.
Yeah. But there's an American Ninja Warrior obstacle you do have to take it on stage 1. Isn't there like a roller coaster thingamabob, like the Big Dipper or something?
That's what I'm saying. American Ninja Warrior has an insane amount. They got rings. They got all the amount of stuff that I see where it's like you have to bring it with you is kind of crazy to me, and it stresses me out. I always think I don't know why. I always just imagine that just has so much more potential for injury, but what do I know? Anyway,
I imagine they cut those out. The last thing you want to see on national TV is like you smacking your face into a bar or something.
Views. That's why I
maybe.
I mean, granted, Spartan lives don't really matter all that much in Halo. They're a dime a dozen, but I still try to really highlight those notable impacts. I think it was Tournament 21. That was my favorite one, where the guy flew out of the side of the Dragon Glider and racked himself on the pole. Yeah, if I could find that clip, I'm going to put it on the video right now, because that was... Oh, man.
I'm good, but even I can't remember the name of that guy.
Yeah, no, I can't either. I'll be able to figure
it was such a funky
21.
run, and I can't believe he got that far. Yeah, it was in 21, yeah.
Man, I got to...
It says a lot. I can remember he, barely... He, walked through the course through, most of the run. He didn't sprint. At all. I can remember that, but I can't remember the name of the guy.
Was it 21 or 22?
It was definitely 21.
All right, so there was 11 people, or how many people failed it? Oh, 7 people failed it. So Mighty Max, Wolf Ninja, Real Deal, Cursed, Orbax? No, that was a fast forward.
No, he cleared the Dragon Glider, didn't he? And then... Oh, are we talking about somebody... Oh, are we talking about someone... I'm talking about something completely different.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I was talking about the one who fell out the side of the Dragon Glider and cleared it in 21.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guy who goes out the side of it and splits his legs with a pole.
And then injures himself. Yes, no, you know what? You might be right. That might have been 22. Yeah. I feel like that might have been early 22.
Maybe it was SB Crimson?
Yeah, I feel like that was an early run in Tournament 22, I want to say.
Either way, it's going to be up on the screen, so people will be able to see it. Man, Tournament 22, 7 tournaments later, Tournament 29, I got the first episode coming out next week. So we're recording this on Saturday, August 30th. It's about to be September. That's crazy. But yeah, episode 1. So we got a nice little lineup. Honestly, I'll say this about Tournament 29. I'm really excited for the tournament to come out. I think people are going to enjoy it. I don't know if I did my best job balancing the runs in terms of run order, because when I've been editing the runs for episode 2, I'm like, man, there's a lot of people here. An insane amount of great competitors in episode 2.
Yeah.
And episode 1 has a lot of really good people and a lot of familiar names too, don't get me wrong, but I think I could have balanced it a little bit better. So we'll see what I can do in tournament 30.
I feel like
Anything?
I say this. I feel like I say this after at the end of every stage one of your, especially your course, but there's probably other courses as well. I feel like at the end of stage one in every one of your tournaments, I'm always thinking like, oh, we had this many clears. Oh, there were so many good jumpers, and I think that's probably the point of it is like the quality and the quantity of quality in how many different good jumpers there are in terms of new jumpers, old jumpers, very old jumpers in my case, that are still here, and can deliver a good result. I'm not surprised that it's difficult to sort of spread the run order. I
Yeah.
feel like I sometimes have the same problem. I you could probably I'd wager you could probably have about 60-ish competitors if you were creating the perfect run order based on the people that are available nowadays on Halo Infinite to run, let's just say tournament 30. You could probably name around 60 jumpers that have the ability or have had success in the past on HNW,
Yeah.
and trying to work out a run order to fit them all in before you even then take into account the results of how they could do is yeah. I just think the variety these days is just so phenomenal. um but it does make it difficult sometimes to balance it out
Well,
as
let's
a
see.
host.
I'm actually curious. I've had after tournament 29, there are 36. I have 36 competitors who have made 10 appearances or more. Uh, Now I'm just looking at the tournament 29 run order, and I think in the first episode I have four competitors in episode one that have 10 appearances or more, and then in the
Ah,
second episode it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I think that's the starting point. I think I can balance that out a little bit more. But again, like when you have people that have been competing that long, you want to reward them with a high number.
yeah.
So it's
I think
tough.
that's the trying to find the perfect balance is that you want to spread the field, but then some people will feel like, oh, I should have had a higher number than this.
Yeah.
How long I've been competing for, blah blah blah. But ultimately, you can't fit everyone in the back half of a run order. Otherwise, you'd have probably a reasonably short first episode and an insanely long second episode.
I think
Um,
I think that's what we might be looking at. Tournament 29, episode 1. It's already done. It's not one of my longer episode ones. I'll say that. I think episode 2 is gonna be pretty long. uh, so yeah, we'll see though. Either way, tournament 29 was I I can honestly say it's been the best hosting experience that I've had for Halo Ninja Warrior in so many years. Obviously, I had a year and a half gap between 28 and 29. You know all about those gaps, and
yeah.
uh, I know it's never ideal, right? You want to be able to host more frequently, but sometimes it's either it could be a motivation thing or just life getting in the way, and you wish you could host more frequently, but
I can safely say it is definitely life with me. If I was given the choice, I would 100% have hosted a second Infinite tournament by now.
yeah,
And a little bit of me wishes that I could have at this point.
I need you to.
I know I want to,
I
man.
need
I
I need
really
that.
want to.
I need that motivation to practice your course again. I mean I put in a lot of work on most courses, but I don't know. It was always different with you, which is actually there's a lot of things that I wanted to touch on today, but I will wrap up the tournament 29 thing by saying watch the episode next week. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It was the best hosting experience I think out of all my 100 competitor tournaments. I don't really measure this, but I'm going to guess that it's got to be like top 2 or top 3 for fastest that I actually got to 100 runs. It was less than 2 months after the tournament started that I was completely closed out, which is I'm very happy with that. That's a standard that
Probably,
I would be very satisfied
probably
with in the future.
you're probably close to breaking all-time records because don't ask me how. Just based purely on release dates alone, this has to logically make sense. My first 100 competitor tournament, the first Halo 4 tournament, and the gap from that one, which was tournament 10 to tournament 11, it was a 2 month gap.
Yeah.
How did I get 100 competitors and then host another tournament in the space of 2 months? What was I do? I don't know what I was on in that first Halo 4 tournament that I managed to get so many runs so quickly. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it just,
We got to get back
but
to
yeah,
that.
but yeah, 2 months. It did sound from a competitor standpoint. It did seem like things rolled by extremely quickly. I know, obviously, you had a shorter like period when you were like it was only like
3 weekends.
three weekends, the equivalent of 2 weeks.
Yep.
So naturally, things rolled on a lot quicker. But in terms of like people actually showing up on time or within those 2 weeks, it it all sounded extremely successful.
Yeah,
Um,
we wrapped up with 52 returning competitors, which again, that's the other figure is, to me, if I'm hitting 50 returning competitors, then I'm justifying a 100 competitor tournament because that means the if I did a 50 competitor tournament, then no newcomers are able to compete, and we don't want that.
I was desperately trying to get Irish's master spreadsheet to put it in some kind of order so I could tell you how many people on my course have ran 10 or more times, and I cannot get this damn thing to work to do it properly, so I have no idea
Hey,
how many people. What was it you said? 36, did you
I,
say?
for 10
How many
appearances or
people
more, yeah,
on
30,
your course? Yeah.
36, and I want to say because I did this twice actually, so I have 36 competitors, but let me check. Let me check. Where's the 10? Oh wait, I need. Is it this one? Oh, this one. Okay. I got so many things on the spreadsheet right now. 10. Okay. 36. According to this, I've got 31 competitors who have 10 or more appearances with a stage 1 clear. So that means that there's 5 who have never cleared stage 1.
Name those competitors, people, in the comments. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I can off the top of my. Actually, no, I can name one straight away off the top of my head.
I'm trying to locate all of them right now. Let's see. That's one. I'm just looking at a spreadsheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, I found all 5. It's a fun list. I like the group.
I'll give you one for free. The one that immediately, instantly came into my head without having to think about it. Iron Bug.
Oh, Ironbug. Okay, yeah. He
That
is
was
one
the
of the.
one.
Yeah, I expected
Yeah,
you to go
straight
with.
away.
I'll give another freebie out there. I was expecting you to go with Sakeshi, but
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
I'm gonna let
But see if
the
you guys can get the other three
3
people
more.
at home.
No, dude.
Yeah.
So okay, listen. ChatGPT is crazy. AI is insane. It has helped me so much. I basically asked it to take every tournament. I have a spreadsheet that has a tab for each tournament, so T1 all the way to T29, and they're formatted differently. Each one, like early on, every like all the competitors are in column A, but then as time moved on, I've added new things, so they're all different. And I just talked to ChatGPT for like 30 minutes, and I got it to make this script for me where it combines all of them into one sheet. So literally every single competitor ever listed with every single result over to the right. It's a massive document, but the biggest thing that I had was when I tallied it up, and 944 is the number of different competitors that I've had on my course. And
Wow.
when I initially made this little spreadsheet thing, it was like in the 980s or something like that, maybe even higher, maybe like 990. Maybe 1,000, I don't know. But regardless, it was way off because it didn't account for gamertag changes. So I went and dude, this took me, you have no idea, man. I spent hours going through every single tournament to account for every single gamertag change that's ever happened on my course. And I finally got account for all of them. There is one that I wasn't 100% sure on.
Okay.
So this is so interesting. Now, take a wild guess. How many competitors do you think have been on my course that have had a gamertag change?
Oh,
Out of 944 competitors.
I would guess somewhere around 60 different people. have maybe had competed with two or more different gamer tags?
The
If I
number
had
is
to guess.
62. Yeah,
Oh
that was a
wow.
hell of a guess. Good job. So a lot of them were easy because nowadays I usually log it somewhere. If someone competes, I'll put in the notes, oh, this was their last gamer tag, and that makes it easy for me to consider like people like Foamy Boy turning into CJG the runner. That one I logged. But when I started going back in time to old tournaments, it became a lot more difficult to, for things like Digitized Havoc becoming Sir Noodleicious, and then Killamanoodle, and then
Yeah.
Noodlewares and all that. Easy C Frenzy being Caleb Plays, which he had a big gap. But if I go really far back, the
Pixel. He had a different gamer tag, didn't he?
yeah, that one.
That's one of the more well-known ones.
Yeah,
but
I'd kind of Car Crazy Scott turning into Dark Wall, like that was one I had to remember. Sneak Killer
Did
8 became
HNW
Sneak Killer 7.
Did HNW Superman always have the same name? Or did he have
Emerge
a different
Zebra
one?
68.
Yeah.
Yep. Reality Gamer Genzel, Charlie and Owen. Who else?
Phil? Didn't Phil have two different
Yeah,
gamer?
he's-
Was in his first tournament? I can't remember if he had a different
Med
gamer
Pack.
tag
He was a
in
Med
tournament
Pack.
one.
He was a
and
Med
then
Pack
changed it
XD and
after
then
that.
iGame types, yeah.
Oh, so he's only ever had two. Oh no, sorry, three
be
game
better,
tags.
yeah.
Yeah, could be better. Yeah.
But the other thing, so Ninja Warrior 718, Blaze Jahaze, that one I had to.
Jante.
There's a lot of these that I just had to pull, and there was one. So
Swan?
Swan is an easy one.
Sauron. Yeah.
Now I was watching. Oh, which tournament was this? I was watching tournament. I think it was 14 or something like that, and there was this guy Gold Urchin, 8085, who was listed as a returning competitor. I went searching. That gamer tag had never appeared before, and I was like, "Who the?" And I listened to the commentary, and all that I say in the commentary was, "This guy was in tournament 12 and he failed the first obstacle." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! That does not help me at all." I didn't say anything about a gamer tag.
who.
I didn't reference anything.
Yeah.
It's not written anywhere. So what I do is I looked up Gold Urchin's gamer tag on Xbox Live. The account was still real, and then I went and I looked at Tournament 12, and I looked at I searched for every single newcomer gamer tag that failed the first obstacle in Tournament 12. And
There's a lot to go through.
yeah, there was. And the only one that doesn't exist anymore was a gamer tag Soul0004. So I'm like, that's my only guess. So that's an assumption that Soul0004 turned into Gold Urchin. I have no way to prove that, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because all the other gamer tags still existed. There was another one that I had Stormin in FL. It might have been like tournament 13 or something. I can't remember which tournament he competed in, but when I went back, I was like, oh god, I didn't make any reference to this. I didn't log it anywhere, but I looked at the previous tournament and the gamer tag was It's a Stormin. So I was like, oh, okay, that's
Easy to-
Stormin, yeah.
Yeah.
Rabid Joker 61 was Andrew
Hey, there's a
Orpheus.
That's you see, I knew Rabbit Joker. Never would have guessed that other gamer tag was anything to do with him.
And the other one I totally forgot about was Bryn 514 Revived. Competed again.
You have a
in
different name?
Stolen Janitor.
Oh yes, you're right. I do remember that because he only ever was Bryn on my course. I would never have thought about that, but I do remember that gamer tag from back in the day. Yeah.
So that was a ton of work to get it to 62 people with different gamer tags, which obviously chopped the number of competitors down significantly. Actually, it was probably, based on that alone, 62. And then a lot of people have had more than 2 gamer tags. But I was really excited about this because the way that AI is able to help out with my spreadsheets, like the stuff I've been able to do with ChatGPT, because I'm not smart enough to come up with these scripts, but ChatGPT can. And I was really excited about it, so I was telling my friend at work about this. And I was showing him all the gamer tag changes, all this stuff, like all the things that I had to do to make this master list. And he's looking at it, and he just goes, "Who the hell is Joey Davis?" Because he's got a long list.
Well, I was about to make a joke of who's had the most gamer tag changes and why isn't it Joey?
Yeah, it's definitely Joey. It's Joey. He's got a 3 gamer tag lead over second place.
Second, I would guess Chris is second, but
Chris actually has. Where's Chris at? Chris only has. officially on my tournaments, he only has 2. He was Exhilaration
Really?
and then Siren.
Exhilaration, and so he never, because I know he definitely ran one of my tournaments as, I think it might have been the first Halo 5 tournament as X Stacy.
Yeah. Yeah. He never
But
competed on my course.
he did obviously have other gamer tags as well.
Do you have a guess who's second on my course?
So,
So
it's not
Joey
Chris.
has 8. Second place has 5.
Next best is 5. 5 gamer tags.
This includes tournament 29.
Okay, so it's a current competitor, and I know it's not Phil because we just went through it. Chris would have been my go-to as him and Joey as the top 2.
A lot of people think that.
Five different gamer tags, and they're in this tournament. Are they? I don't know, I was about to say, are they still good? Are they? Are they still a
I think
solid
it's 5 gamer tags in 6 appearances.
Oh my god, this should make this so obvious, and I can't.
To be fair, most of them have the same core.
Yeah, I would.
Most of them.
Caden?
There you go. Yep.
Oh my god, that was a complete guess.
Yeah,
that was a total guess.
It's Caden. So Joey and
He's
Caden,
had
what a
that
duo.
many. He's had that many. I didn't think he'd had that many gamer tags. Wow.
Yeah.
What do you know? You learn something new every day. Not to backtrack too much on our previous comments. Jake put something in the Discord since we were talking about injuries. He's talking about something completely different, which was a theme that Smokey put in the Discord. But he's quoted Jake breaking his leg on the crooked wall in tournament 27, which is really funny since we were just talking about injuries earlier.
Wow.
And
I gotta pull this
I'm
up.
not sure if this is 100% accurate, but assuming that Irish's spreadsheet is accurate, or that I've been able to use it to be accurate and then done the math on the tournaments that aren't in, I have 20 different competitors on my course that have 10 or more appearances, and you've got almost double that.
Dang. Yeah.
Which is just a little crazy thing. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but if it isn't, then it would only be out by like 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So 20 competitors compared to 36, and I imagine Rogs probably has close to 36 as well with the amount of tournaments he has.
Yeah, I do remember asking that. Let's see. I'm wondering if there's. Oh,
Rog, if you know, leave it in the comments.
Let's take a look at here's who could hit 10 if they compete in 20 or in 30. Daddy Cheese, Spartan Walnut, who will definitely be there. Dom da Bomb X, can you get him back? Make his 10th appearance?
He's been sat on that for a while.
Yeah, he has. Pandas for life.
He's been sat on that for a long time.
Alex J189.
Oh,
I didn't know he competed that much, to be honest. And Swantron. Actually, I've been asking this question to so many people, but I haven't done it on a podcast, and I don't know if I've asked you. The other thing that the spreadsheet was able to do was measure a competitor's most failed obstacle. And so I have it listed. So if someone has failed an obstacle multiple times, it puts the name and then the number of how many times they failed it. But it also can do other things like how many times they failed it in a row, and then if they have like how many unique failures, I guess. So what I did was out of the 36 competitors with 10 or more appearances, there is one competitor who has never failed the same obstacle twice.
Oh, God.
I did this with Snoz. We went through a lot of gamer tags before they got the right answer.
It's bad that Joey was my first go-to, and I know Joey doesn't even have 10 appearances, which would have been a terrible guess.
Yeah.
He's going to hit 9 appearances, I think. It
would be, if he was at 10, it'd be correct. He's never failed the same obstacle twice.
Yeah. That's what I. Yeah.
Now there has Dom.
Yeah. One competitor that has competed at least 10 or more times and has always failed a different obstacle. It's definitely not me, I can tell you that much.
Actually,
I thought it was only. Okay, I'll have to ask that after.
I'm going to. Actually, we're gonna bleep that out.
Oh no, I just realised. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a big old bleep sound on that one. You'll find out later.
Oh, this is gonna bug me. You know what I'm like with this stuff. I know a lot of stuff. I don't know everything. Um, and it's annoying since it's 36 different competitors,
Yeah,
and
it's a big
just trying
pool
to
to
think
pull
of.
from. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of someone in my head that. No, I was going to say and I don't think it's I think he failed
The
the
crazy cliffhanger
spinning
three
bridge.
times.
Oh, I forgot. I was actually thinking of the spinning bridge of all obstacles. Yeah, the crazy cliffhanger. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even sure I could attempt. Well, I just did attempt to guess and it was wrong with I think you're gonna have to tell me. I can't think who it is.
The only competitor with 10 or more appearances who has never failed the same obstacle twice, or this kind of would be a little bit of a hint if I said it this way, has never had the same result twice. That would be Buddy Jumps.
Ah, okay, buddy. Yeah, made it to the final twice. Has one clear, one fail, and I guess those sporadic fails,
Yeah.
especially in the later half of his career, um,
Yeah, he was all
yeah,
over the
definitely
place.
do contribute to that. Yeah, I
Well,
certainly was nowhere near with a multitude of different obstacles that I failed in my career. I think,
speaking of sporadic, I think that's a perfect segue into the main thing we wanted to talk about today. Speaking
yeah,
of Buddy, with that tournament 11 failure and things like that. I put this in the Discord today. You alluded to it a second ago, but I put a graphic. I'll throw it up on the screen right now. I just got bored. I was like, I want to spark some conversation here. So I asked, what is the biggest choke in Halo Ninja Warrior history? And I put up 5 images and gave a 6th option for prompting people to come up with their own suggestions. But I put Killer Demand in Tournament 9. He failed in the last possible gap of the final climb on stage 1. So he was just like a
the
foot away.
closest, the
To,
closest probably you could get on a stage one, I
yeah.
imagine.
I put Puma in Tournament 15 because I was debating between 14 and 15. I think 15 was more impactful because, he got there in 14, missed the final jump of stage 3, got back there again in 15 and missed it again. I put you in Tournament 20 because,
Iconic.
Fireball in Tournament 24. I put Strafe in Tournament 25, and then I just listed other. But, and I talked to Snaz about it too. Snaz didn't agree with some of my picks. And I see where he's coming from too. I think my thought process was not necessarily choking like within the context of the obstacles or the individual stage, but more open and more broad, like larger scale.
Yeah,
Puma, like one jump away from getting to the final stage. That's such a big deal. Hunter, one stage clear away from 20 overall. Fireballs, one stage 2 clear away from 10 straight on stage 3. Strafe, the only one who had maybe a chance at total victory. It's hard. We'll never know. But, those are the big ones. So, like, Stas brought up your Tournament 9 failure on the middle spin. You definitely choked, but to me that was a different kind
yeah,
of choke.
yeah. I think you just for context, different for different reasons. I think, like you say, it was more so because I was going for 20 in a row, and I obviously in an alternative universe, the multiverse, if you will. Let's say I had got past the crooked wall. There was definitely a couple more spots where I could have screwed
Yeah.
up after that. Whereas I think the other 4 suggestions well, yeah, definitely the other 4 suggestions that you made or put in this picture, that literally was the last obstacle that they all screwed up on.
That's true.
Um, in the case of Puma and Killer, obviously it was the last jump as well. And so yeah, but yeah, it's different for different reasons. Firewall was 2 jumps away from 10 in a row, 10 stage threes in a row, and that would have been a record outright. Strafe, I genuinely do think he had enough time to. We'll never know, like you say, but I do think he had
So
enough time
close,
to
yeah.
finish that final stage if he hadn't made that one mistake. But then, yeah, we started talking about Smokey put it out there and then suggested other people, other suggestions that people put in, and I've thought up quite a few different variety of ones. I think the biggest one that came to my mind was Drago in Tournament 7. Um, I think if he didn't make the mistake missing the turret on the first go, he would have got to the top in time, and then you would have had the unbelievable scenario of two grand champions in one tournament.
Yeah, the first ever total victory, and it's double. Yeah,
Yeah, I would have loved to know what you
that's
would have
kind of what
done with
happened
that.
on American Ninja Warrior, right?
I feel like that's a
And then
thing now, isn't
they
it? Like
screwed over.
they just now turned it into just a who gets the faster time. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of countries do that. I saw a video a month or so ago that was like every total victory in all, like in the whole world, like all the different shows. I think there's been, as of when that video came out, 40 different total victories across the entire world. But especially in the modern era, so many of them are just based on this guy got to the top, so quote unquote got total victory, but didn't win the prize money because they weren't the fastest one.
Yeah.
Um, and but yeah, it would have been what a scenario that would have been for Tournament 8 if you had Drago and Buddy as grand champions. I would have dread to think how you would have had to manage that or try and work out what you were going to do with that.
Well,
Um,
I'll say this, and I don't know if I would have thought this way back then, but I am. There's zero question about the solution to multiple grand champions in a single tournament from my seat. And this with some of the prize stuff that I have planned from tournament 30, this will definitely be coming into play. Or it could, I'm not. I don't. Obviously, tournament 30 hasn't even started yet. I have no idea what the results are going to be, but there's a decent amount of people who you think are capable of getting total victory. So I have to plan for this type of stuff. And to me, it's simple. If you have two competitors who both beat the stage was set. The time limits were set. Those existed before the tournament started. Everything was pre-set up, and the goal is to get total victory. The goal isn't to beat other people, it's to beat the course. So if you beat the course, you got total victory. There's a prize for total victory, right? Now, if multiple people get it, you split the prize. I think it should be as simple as that. I don't care who is faster. I care that both accomplish the mission. And with right now a $100 prize in all my last several tournaments, if two people got it, they both get $50. I will say this will be the first time that I mention it. I'm going to be going a little bit deeper into my plans. I have a lot of plans for Tournament 30. The total victory prize for Tournament 30 will be $200. So
hey.
there's the first. I'm mentioning that. And then I have
So if
another...
two people want to win, in Tournament 30, you get the normal price.
Yeah, exactly.
You share.
Yep. Actually, I'm gonna make a bigger announcement regarding that later on down the line. So there's more to it than just that.
Okay.
So that's the way I see it. Multiple people get total victory. You split the prize. So back in those days, I don't know, Buddy and Drago, they both get 800 Microsoft points or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Strafe brought up your Tournament 9 run in the Discord.
So there's a few different, I'm going to shout some people out. This feels like is this what it's like when people do a live Q&A?
Yeah, it is. This is as good as we'll get.
Irish brought up his Tournament 23 fail, which I guess was more specific to him. I think he's talked about that before, maybe on either my podcast or your podcast. Buddy and Dragon Tournament 11, Satan in Tournament 19, that one killed me to watch that.
Yeah. Buddy, Drago in 11 is also a great. I think
Dragon 11. Yeah. Changed the foundations, if you will, and in some ways changed it for me as well, because from that point onwards, I know obviously he'd missed a tournament, so his streak, he had his own personal streak, but it wasn't across the entire course. It wasn't 11 in a row or anything like that. I guess in some ways it changed the game for me, because not long after that, it really did become all about just clearing stage 1 every tournament and keeping the streak going for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Buddy in Tournament 12. That one, I guess it's not really a choke. That final stage was so
It,
tough, but it was
if
just
when you look at when
one
you look
little
at how
mistake.
Gotenks handled that final stage, and to see Buddy do it the way he did it, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't consider that a choke.
And then apart from that, some of the more recent suggestions, King Sparkedy. I can't remember which tournament he's talking about here, so it's either 19 or 20. I guess this was probably 19. He gets to the last obstacle and just can't do the lumberjack climb to save his life.
Which is what I also alluded to it a little bit in my graphic when I suggested other. I put a picture of Rog in
Rog.
tournament 18,
Yeah. I
which
love that
I
run, just
forgot.
really-
I forgot that was the tournament where I just turned it over to him for commentary, and he was just
there's a good like you're like talking for like the first 15 seconds of that run, and
yeah,
then you say almost next to nothing for the rest of the run because him, Snars, Swan, I
yeah.
think Ump's pissing himself in the background of that run.
It was hilarious.
It was so funny every time I watched that back. Um, and the only other suggestion in Shadows, but an interesting one here, Pixel in tournament
I
18
was
when
thinking I
he
saw
screwed
that.
up the dismount of the metal spin.
Is that what happened? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Pixel
that
failing the
was
metal spin is just
that's just the norm,
it is the
unfortunately.
norm.
He is definitely not a competitor that's made 10 or more appearances that had uh, a different fail in every run. Sorry, Pixel.
So
Um,
here's what I want to ask you, because now I don't. This conversation probably changes a little bit if all of tournament 29 is uploaded already, because there might be a couple runs in tournament 29 that we could mention, but it has me thinking, and this could be, maybe you and I can. I don't know if anyone's going to listen to this and take this advice, but what would you say, what has gone through your mind in those moments? So in tournament 9, in tournament 20, and just moving forward, when you have a disappointing result in the moment, how do you get through it?
yeah, I think it's probably the best. It's probably better to go through these individually and then probably talk about it in a more general perspective. I think probably, when you put that post up, I started also thinking about my own runs, obviously, and I definitely had a period, like I had a unique streak where I think it was just pure chokes all the way through, 8, 9, and 10. When I think about all three of those fails, I think they're just all pure chokes.
Yeah.
Especially tournament 10. Absolutely destroying that third stage and then rushing the final jump. That could have been my two in a row. Way earlier than it should have been. But getting back to the question, sorry. Tournament 9, that one was hugely frustrating. I can remember.
I remember that.
I was properly peed off after that run. I don't know how. I was trying not to. I was toying with swearing. Yeah, I was.
That's
I
fine.
could,
Podcast.
yeah. I was properly pissed off. I can remember. I don't know how I screwed that up. Part of me was trying to work out if it was my fault or if I could somehow blame it on you. And I definitely remember walking away not being satisfied with that run. But after that, I guess there was. I can definitely tournament 14. I can remember being really pissed off after that run.
Yeah, I do.
I can
Yeah.
remember being super frustrated with screwing up the cliffhanger again, and I was concerned that it was going to become a real problem for me in terms of getting past it. Obviously, I got past it in 13, but it was easier. I got past it in 15 and in 16, but I screwed up in 16. My first attempt, I failed the dismount of the cliffhanger, and so I was really nervous this was all going to happen again.
Yeah.
I was going to start this weird streak of failing the dismount in an even numbered tournament.
Yep.
Obviously, the rest is history from that point on with what happened on the second attempt in 16. Yeah, so no, but I guess, yeah, after tournament 9, I guess there wasn't really well, I know I just said tournament 14, but whether you call that a choke or not, I guess there wasn't really a big one until tournament 19. 19,
Yeah.
that was more a surprise than anything. I never expected it, so I didn't really know how to take it. I don't remember being frustrated, and it was the same. I was probably frustrated that the streak was over, and I talked about how I'd been so consistent up to that point, like I'd finished in the top six in all of the first 18 tournaments, and now that record was gone. Um, but I don't remember being angry, and it was the same with tournament 20. It was honestly just like I said in the interview. It was
Yeah.
pure pride. Like now I could actually sit, like take a step back for a split second and actually realize what had been achieved in that 6.5 or five, whatever it was, 5.5 year period of all the hard work that had gone into making that streak. There'd probably been a few moments of luck along the way, but for the most part, it had been pure determination, um, putting in the hard yards, and keeping my focus, not panicking, because that's the biggest thing. I think that's something that a lot of people don't take into account. And it doesn't matter how experienced or how successful you are, you can clear a stage 10 times in a row in practice, but it will not feel the same as when you're doing the actual run because there will be some, no matter what, subconsciously that pressure during your run where this is the run. This is going to be, what's shown whether you succeed or fail. And then because of that, that's probably why there's a lot of people that end up screwing up and then not getting the stage one clear that they expected. Biggest advice I could say is the way I looked at it from the when I look back at how I felt after those fails is to not I never let any of those fails define me. I felt like at the end of 20, it was like that's the end of the road for this streak, but I didn't want that to be the end of the road for me as a competitor. I didn't want to think, oh, you know, this is the end of Hunter. I'm never going to clear a stage one again on this course. It's going to be really rough. I just wanted to put it to the back of my mind, move on to the next tournament, bounce back if I could, and then just go from there. Um, didn't quite work out that way in 21, I'll admit, but I guess if 21 didn't happen, it probably wouldn't have made 22
That's
as
true.
sweet as it ended up being. If it had just been one fail and then I cleared in 21, which I honestly think I could have done that. I actually, for how tough that stage one was and the fact only five people beat it, I actually felt really confident with that stage one. I was definitely pissed off after the 21 fail. I can tell you that much. There was no
Yeah.
interview, but the brief audio that was there, yeah, I was super frustrated with that one. But if I cleared in 21, it probably would have felt more like a sort of like that's how we do it. Tournament 20 was a one-off. We're back. We're still in business. So in some ways, I'm kind of glad 21 happened the way it did because if it didn't, I wouldn't have got the sweet satisfaction that 22 gave me and just the pure joy um, when I got to the finish line and just letting out all that emotion and with everyone that was there that was supporting me as well. The support they gave me and the cheers and the happiness and yeah, it was really really sweet. But yeah, to answer the question, which was sort of I can't even remember what the question was. How do you react to a fail? How when you have an iconic fail or when you have a big fail?
Yeah.
Is never let it define you. Never think like if and if you're free, if you're listening, Joey, if you're listening, anyone else that's hot stuff right now that thinks they're the guy that they're going to win it all. If you have a stage one fail that comes out of nowhere, do not let it define. It doesn't even have to be a stage one fail. It can be any fail that you didn't expect. A shocking fail that you think is a choke.
Earlier than
Do
expected.
not, yeah, earlier than expected. Do not let it define you. Do not let it suck you up and think like, oh, I've absolutely screwed this up. This was my one chance and now it's over. It's not over. There will always be another tournament and a chance for you to bounce back. How many times did Fireball go through probably the same feelings where he either choked earlier than he expected or he got to the last obstacle and then screwed it up? And what happened in 20? He absolutely destroyed the entire course. and is now arguably considered the best competitor of all time in HNW. He didn't get there. He didn't get that far after the 8 failures. I can't remember what he was on his ninth appearance when he got total victory.
Yep.
He didn't let those 8 failures that happened before them define him. He didn't give up. He didn't think I've missed my chance. He just kept his focus,
Yeah.
put the failure behind him, and kept doing what he was doing. Kept doing what I said. Put the practice in.
There's a lot of
Keep
stage threes in
focused.
there, though.
There was a lot of stage threes, admittedly. Yeah, I mean that's the same with me. Like I could get to stage 3, but I couldn't get back to the final stage, and I felt like it was bugging me. But I kept at it, and eventually I managed to pull through in 16. But yeah, sorry, I'm rambling a bit now.
I think I like to look at it. I just think of the law of averages, like to me it just comes down to just keep competing, if you have a
Yeah.
failure and you weren't happy with it, just keep competing, because over time, law of averages, it'll smooth out. And because I was just looking at my competitor list right here, and I'm like, who would you say is the better competitor on my course, Cobra or Sane? Like, both have 2 stage 3s, but Cobra only competed 5 times, and you just don't really think about him all that much. Sane is a staple of the course, been on the course 25 times as of tournament 29. So to me, that's what it comes down to. Like, don't get too hurt if you had a run that was heartbreaking. I love Fireball's reaction to tournament 24's fail. That felt, you could feel it with him. Like, he wasn't angry. If maybe he was angry at himself, but he wasn't taking it out on anyone. He was just almost dumbfounded, but he was clearly
He had a little
hurt.
scream, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Was that him or was that somebody else?
He went a little high pitched. No, it was him. Well, I think no.
And look what happened after
Rog
that.
was the scream. Rog was going,
Rog was the
no. Yeah.
Look what happened after that. He didn't let that fail define him. He ended up getting a second final stage.
Second final stage, then he got first place one tournament later.
Yeah.
Then he fell stage.
I think that, we won't talk about that one. Well, I mean, I will for the streak, but we won't talk about it.
Well,
I bring it up with him every so often.
So-
I think that's the other thing I would just very quickly say, is that if you feel like you're not good enough, let's put it in the complete opposite spectrum. You're a guy that has never cleared stage 1, or has maybe only cleared it like once, and it's just got a plethora of stage 1 fails, and you feel like, oh, I'm just no good at this. I just suck. I'm thinking about giving up. If you don't show up, then you've already lost. If you get on the course and you're standing at that start line, you've always got a chance, and that means you've got a better chance than the guy who doesn't show up, because if they don't show up, they've already lost, no matter what.
it's true. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Since you've touched on a lot of your failures, I think it's time we finally hear this tournament 28 story.
Yes. Okay. So I think I kind of, for the people that sort of, I guess, have watched the audio episode of the last episode of Tournament 28, I kind of hinted at this weird story about what was going on with my fail getting into the pyramid scheme in on stage 3. Correct me if I get any of these facts wrong. So I came into that stage 3 fully expecting to fail the Sidewinder. I just didn't have a technique. I was no good at it. And then Smokey and Free gave me a technique that started working for me, and it was like, okay, actually maybe I've got a chance at beating this. We get to the runs, first attempt, nice and simple, failed the Sidewinder. So yeah, okay. Second attempt, clear the Sidewinder. We're now on the cliffhanger. I've had a handful of practices at this. Cleared it, I think, twice.
0 for 3 on it in your career?
And I'm 0 for 3 on it in my career, yeah. But I had a couple of clears on it, and I knew how to do it, at least. Get to the moving ledge. Land on the moving ledge. Get the save jump. Oh, sorry, yeah. Make the transfer. Get the save jump. Land on the moving ledge. Goes for the dismount. something weird happens in midair where I almost get like boomerang pulled back,
You got sucked down.
lagged
Yeah.
back, yeah, lagged backwards, sucked down into the water in midair
The
in the
jump
gap
guys just hammered the top of your Spartan straight down. Yeah.
between the moving ledge and the landing platform I'm going for. Yeah, something happened and we were all very confused. Um,
So
so
just to clarify from my perspective, when something like that happens, when there's something where the game has an issue and it is not the competitor's fault, if it is a game malfunction, a technical issue, the rule is that competitor gets to get back to the same jump that they were at. Not just the same obstacle, but they get to the same jump and get to reattempt that. Oh, Guy Mandu in Tournament 11, that's a funny one. Disappointing, just threw that out
yes,
there. But anyway, so when the game has a glitch and Hunter gets just sucked down into the water off that ledge, the rule is he will get to reattempt that dismount essentially.
yeah. So at that point, it's a case of we've got to get back there. We've got to get back to the cliffhanger. We've got to get back to that transfer, make the transfer, and then attempt the jump. And as anyone that's attempted that jump knows, you can't really screw that jump up unless you don't sprint. I guess is the only way
Yeah.
really to fail it. You know, if you're failing at that point, it's probably because you like slide off the ledge or something.
Yep.
Like that's really the only way to actually fail the quote unquote jump is to not sprint. So I felt pretty calm at that point that I was finally going to get past that cliffhanger. I can't remember exactly the details from this point. I'm guessing to save time, we didn't. As I recall, I don't think I went back to the start. I think we just decided to just cheat, so to speak. So you guys won't know this from watching the episodes, obviously, but if you've been on the map, some of you may know that Smokey has a very nice sniper rifle that gives him the ability to teleport to anywhere on the map. I'm not entirely sure how it works exactly. I can't remember. I think is it kind of like you just have to look at a specific
Yeah, wherever you
spot?
ping. If you pinged at a location, it'll teleport you there immediately.
Yeah.
Is that what we
okay.
did? We didn't. For some reason, I thought. Okay.
I can't remember. I know there was a way to get on top of the superstructure on the Sidewinder to skip that, but I don't think we did that. I think we just immediately went with the sniper. I'm guessing that because I know
Yeah, I remember there was the thing with you
because
dropping the gun, you not having
yeah.
having to make sure you had the right because you couldn't. I couldn't have you doing the run with the big old sniper on your back. I do
So
remember that.
I'm trying to remember the combo of how we did it. I think was it how because somebody else there had to have been a second guy there standing on the platform as well to take the sniper back.
No, I thought you just
But I'm
threw it
trying
into
to
the water. Or maybe was Free standing there and I don't
maybe
know.
somebody used the superstructure to get to the start platform of the
I thought you just
cliffhanger
throw the sniper
with
into the water
sniper.
because
I feel like
you can drop
I gave
the
it
gun.
back to someone. I feel like I gave it back to
Maybe.
someone because we had to do this multiple times is the problem.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we had
did.
to we had to do multiple attempts because I think I must have mucked up the transfer once. I think I mucked up the save jump, like landing on the like not crouching onto the moving ledge or something. So it took a good three or maybe four tries.
Let's
Rough.
that's not how I remember. I remember way more than that. We were there for a minute.
Okay, yeah, you can fill the gaps. Yeah.
I remember we were stuck there for quite a while because again, the rule is you get to reattempt that jump, and you were just not getting back there.
No.
I thought it was more like 6 or 7 attempts.
Oh,
Before you
maybe.
finally
Okay,
got it.
yeah.
And I
Okay, maybe it
just
was
remember
that
like,
bad.
man, thank God he got it on his actual attempt because that's the thing. It's the exact opposite of what you just said. You could clear a stage 10 times, and then your real run you fail it, or the other could happen. You could never beat an obstacle like Gotenks in Tournament 21. He never cleared stage 2 in practice, and then he beats it on his actual run. So it was a great thing that you were able to pull it off on the actual attempt.
I definitely did clear that cliffhanger. I can vaguely remember only taking about like 9 practice attempts at that stage
Yeah.
3 before I did my run on the day because I was adamant I was going to fail the Sidewinder. You guys showed me the technique, it worked the first try, so then I had a few more runs. Again, out of like the 3 or 4-ish times that I attempted the cliffhanger in those 9 practice attempts, I definitely cleared it at least twice.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I suddenly thought, you know what? I've had about 9 practice goes at this. I honestly feel like there's no point in doing any more practice. It's probably the least amount of practice I've done for a stage 3 ever, on the day at
Yeah.
least. I just thought, you know what, there's no point in wasting more time on this. Let's just do it and see what happens. So I did know I could get past that cliffhanger. Um, but yeah, however it went down, it became a problem. But eventually, we did get it. So for you guys watching in the episode, the first 3 obstacles was probably the
The actual
actual
run.
second attempt, the
Yeah.
actual run, the actual second attempt. Then the cliffhanger was probably the attempt that actually where I actually cleared it without any lag bullshit,
Yep.
and then made the landing. And then obviously at that point, we've got to create something like I can't just be like, oh, finally. So we've got to be like, yeah, we finally did it. Woo, yeah, woo, yeah, awesome, great. The problem with all of this is that I was completely out of it at this point. Like, if I'm in run mode, I'm in pure focus. Like,
Yeah.
I'm focused to the T, with every little detail. Um, Doing all these attempts to try and get back to the cliffhanger and they're trying to get back to the dismount jump and then make it. I was just vibing at that point. I was just like, okay, well, we've got unlimited attempts until we get back to that jump. We're fine. We can just relax a little bit. The problem is that once I was relaxed, I couldn't then get back into focus. Like we cleared the cliffhanger, and then it was just like, well, I'm still kind of chilling here. I'm not focused. And if I maybe had been focused, I probably would at the very least have got into the pyramid, um, instead of that appalling attempt that you guys see where I basically screwed it up in every way possible. Like I went too high, I went way too forward, I slid off the thin ledge, just the cardinal every possible
Yeah.
thing you could do wrong, on that. But I didn't care, honestly. I didn't care at all. Not just because of how it had gone down, but with all the multiple tries to get back there, but also the fact that I did not, as I said in the interview, I 100% did not expect to get that far. It was probably the most surprised I had been in a stage 3 run since probably 17. Um, and yeah, it really gave me a lot of inspired confidence, that, without giving too much away, probably helped my mindset coming into this tournament, tournament 29. And if what happened in 28 didn't happen, then it could have been very different. I could have had a very different mindset for tournament 29. And of course, the most important thing, I beat Fireball. So it's just
That is
it's
true.
all
Yeah.
good.
Yep, indeed. Well, yeah. Hey, if you haven't seen Tournament 28 already, go back and watch it. But Tournament 29, Episode 1 is coming out next Saturday, September 6th. I am very excited for people to watch this tournament. It was a very fun tournament, and you'll get to see Hunter's run later on down the line when Episode 2 comes out. But
Hmm.
we're at almost an hour now, so I think this is a perfect place to wrap up. Hunter, any closing words?
No, I think nothing off the top of my head. We could obviously, there's a few other things I could talk about, talking about mindsets as a host and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
like as a competitor as host. But that's something we've been going for a while. We could talk about this another time. I did have an idea actually that I wanted to bring up with you
Oh, go for
after
it.
for another
Oh,
for
okay.
another podcast idea.
No,
That
throw
I
it
would
out there right now. Let's
100%.
see.
Okay. Well, the obstacle idea was awesome. I loved it. I enjoyed watching it. I've had this idea in my head for quite a while, um, before the obstacle podcast came out, of doing a top 10 competitors, but it's based on the games. So in your
Yeah.
case, it would be Halo 4 MCC and Halo 5, and doing like a master discussion where we all have to basically agree on what the 10 names are and what order we would put them in. and it could basically be like a master debate of that. Not necessarily 2 hours like the obstacle
It
podcast
went on too
was,
long, yeah.
but
It's too many
yeah, but I mean,
obstacles.
the idea in my head was to like set it at 2 hours to do this, and then make it as short, like cut out as much time as possible to do, those essentially three lists in one podcast. I feel like Halo 5 would be the one that produces the longest debate.
Yeah.
That one will probably take like an hour for us all to agree on 10 competitors, but I
No
feel like
kidding.
MCC would probably take like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
if that. But yeah, that's an idea I've had in my head for quite a while, actually. It probably came off the back of when I was doing my top 10 episodes. And yeah, that would be definitely a cool podcast that I would. I came up with the idea, so I have to be in it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's
No,
this was a lot of fun. I feel like this is my idea of a podcast is when we talk about all sorts of different things, rather than I feel like that's what the podcasts I listen to. They just talk about every like a dozen
yeah.
different topics, rather than one specific topic. And I feel like that's the kind of podcast I've been a part of today.
Yeah, no.
This has been a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for joining. Yeah, we'll do some more charts and stuff like that in the future. But yeah, I also like the ability to just talk freely about jumping overall. But that wraps it up for the 10th HNW podcast. We made it to 10. That's great. Hunter, thanks for joining. And we will see you all next time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, I don't even know why you'd be watching at this point. That would be mind-blowing to me. But next week, Tournament 29, Episode 1's coming out. Make sure you're checking that out. Follow Halo Ninja Warrior on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Check out Ninja Warrior of Halo, Extreme UK Gaming.
Yes.
Make sure you're subscribing to that channel as well. And make sure you're competing. But in the meantime, we'll see you next week, I guess.
Goodbye.